לא נרדם טוב בלי שאני רואה בתים קורסים בעזה. מה אני אעשה? עוד בתים, עוד מגדלים, שלא יהיה להם לאן לחזור.
אז אנחנו צריכים שיקרה האסון הזה כדי להבין שהפלסטינים זאת קבוצה מיותרת, כדי להבין שיכול להיות שמה שהם צריכים זה נכבה 2.
אתה רואה אזרחים?
לפתוח באש, לפתוח, בוודאי, הם לא אזרחים.
I had not seen that compilation until this very moment, and I'm going to toss it over to you, Waz, so I can calm down for a second and not say things that I might regret later. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say when it comes to that, because, like I think about somebody like Henry Kissinger dying, and like most people just being like, yeah, I don't really care that he died, rest in or whatever, and like kind of move on,
Right,
but like
yes.
Nobody's like, no, I wish he was in a torture chamber and they removed his fingernails one by one.
No.
And then,
listen, we're talking about the guy behind the carpet bombing.
Yeah, one of the worst people ever.
Yeah. F. Henry Kissinger. I don't care about anyone celebrating the fact that he passed away. We just showed you a compilation of Israelis calling for and celebrating the slaughter of innocent civilians.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't see that here, or maybe there were people in Cambodia who did it. I don't know, but to be like, yo, this guy was genuinely evil, did a bunch of evil things. Like, all right, like to take that tact against just civilians, just regular people who, yeah, they made the mistake of wanting to stay on their land. That's the offense that they've done to you. They're not soldiers in any army. They're not even part of the actual resistance, outside of the fact that they haven't ceded the entirety of the land to you guys by just walking away. Like that's what these people are pissed about. Like that these people are reminding them every day that Israel wasn't some empty place that they came to, that there were people here, that they had lives here, and that, that they should be dealt with as human beings. Like that's when I see that, it's just like a bunch of people confronting their own conscience. It's just like, bro, like obviously y'all know what y'all doing is insanely evil.
I don't know if they know. I don't know if they know.
They have to know.
Well, okay. Well, you just got a little taste of the brutal honesty of how Israelis feel on Israeli media. So the idea that media coverage is adequately deferential to Gazans, according to a shocking percentage of Israeli citizens, and they see no need for it to change, is insane to me. They see that and they're like, no, this is fair coverage of what Gazans are dealing with. Okay, so this is according to a new poll that was conducted by the aChord Center of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. It was conducted during the last week in May, using a representative sample of 1,112 Israelis. And here's what they found. According to the survey, 64% of Israelis believe that the local media's reporting on Gaza has been balanced, and there is no need to present a broader picture regarding the situation of Gaza civilians. Now, look, if I knew my government were committing all these terrible atrocities and slaughtering children, and my military is increasingly thought of as a terrorist organization in the global world, I probably wouldn't want to see those atrocities for myself. I'd probably want to be in the dark. Ignorance is bliss. But they should understand why the international community has soured on Israel. It's not because they hate Jews. It's not because they have anti-Semitism and malice in their hearts. It's because they're seeing the slaughter of innocent people, most of whom are women and children. Among respondents who voted for parties in the current governing coalition, 89%, this is unsurprising, supported that view, while only 44% of respondents who voted for parties in the opposition shared it. 56% of the latter group said that a broader picture should be provided. So it really depends on your party affiliation, I guess, when it comes to your views on how the media is covering Gaza. Their views of the Israeli media were, though, shocking as well. 41% of the respondents said that the news on Israel's two mainstream commercial stations, channels 12 and 13, are biased in favor of the population of Gaza, while 37% said that reporting on the subject was balanced, and 21% said it was biased against Gazans. All right, well, 21% of, those civilians in Israel.
Isn't the population like 20% Arab Israeli?
This is why when I speak out against propagandists like Emily Schrader, who's like doing a media tour to drum up support for a war in Iran, when I call out the atrocities carried out by the IDF, like Israelis can't believe it. They're like, oh, how dare you? This is libel. Okay, no, it's not though. I'm literally telling you things that have been proven, that have been reported. People still think, oh no, it's not the IDF that's shooting at Palestinians as they're desperately trying to get humanitarian aid from one of these Israeli and US-backed humanitarian aid hubs. It's Hamas. Except CNN's investigation shows that those bullets were consistent with Israeli weapons. After that investigation came out, the IDF's like, yeah, we were firing warning shots. That's what it was. Yeah, kind of kill over 200 Palestinians as they're desperately trying to get food for their children. Come on, man. So look, I accept, because I myself have experienced this, where I'm in the dark about something. I'm in a media bubble, and my views on something, my perspective on something that's happening in the country or around the world isn't quite right. That's why I don't think it's ever okay to be hateful towards civilians or think it's okay to have, military attack civilians because we disagree with their views. A lot of Americans had crappy views after 9/11. Okay. But with that in mind, I mean, intentionally keeping yourself in the dark in regard to the atrocities committed by your own military and your own government, that's on you. That means you suspect that these types of atrocities are taking place. You don't want to hear about it. You don't want any accountability for it. You don't want to hear about it. I mean, it's basically complicity. So the plurality of Israelis think those channels are too pro-Palestinian, despite the fact that a separate earlier study found an almost total absence of coverage of civilian deaths in Gaza in Channel 12's reporting during the first 6 months of the war. And in the poll, Channel 14, which is considered to be the most supportive of Benjamin Netanyahu, well, what's going on over there? Well, they were perceived by 39% of the respondents as presenting balanced reporting on Gaza. 56% of those polled said Channel 14 was biased against the Gazan population, and 5% said that it was biased in favor of the Gazans. Imagine thinking that channel is in favor of Gazans, but 5% say that, 56% say no, it's actually biased against Gazans. So.
Yeah, I think it's not crazy to say that Israeli citizens are also victims of the occupation, man. The level of resentment and just pure hatred that they've developed for the civilian population of Gaza, I don't think you get to that without an occupation and the results that flow out of occupation. Just the realities that flow out of it, where you do have resistance groups, and sometimes those groups are violent. Never as violent as the last 20 months have been on the part of the IDF, it must be said. But, there's been violence and atrocities committed on that side, and it's because, the Israeli regime has constantly decided that the policy has to be, crushing any hope for these guys and gals over there to have full citizenship. And another thing, that I think is it long term is tough for the Israelis. Like, there's no coming back in terms of public perception. I think, especially when the state was first founded, there's this idea that it's got this left wing characteristic, right? Like that like the kibbutz is like sort of semi-socialist, and like there was like a union element to the founding of some of these political parties and all of that. There was this idea of the plucky Israelis, and like this is such a like a progressive whatever type of thing, like which was.
Isn't gay marriage still legal in Israel?
I don't even know, which is ridiculous. But also too, back in those days, Hannah, Israel was way more secular in its culture and as a society. And as time goes on, it gets way less and less secular. I mean, the concept that it's like some liberal, progressive place, I think that's also going out the window. And so all of these things that especially liberal Zionists would use to like pull the veil over their own eyes about the country and the reality, which is like, yo, these are some right-wing, repressive ass, authoritarian ass people, bro. And the settlers, these are just foaming at the mouth with maniacs, cultish individuals. And so, yeah, that's what it is. And I think the world is seeing it for what it is finally. And this is just the beginning, in my opinion. They're only going to become more and more of a pariah as they pursue what is going to be ethnic cleansing and genocide in their pursuit to get, all 1.5 million of these people out of what they call Greater Israel.
Yeah, can't say I disagree. I think that they're on a mission to do that. They are going to do that, and they're going to turn more and more people against them.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.